All right, let's talk about one of the most hyped 3D printers out there right now, the Bambu Lab A1 Mini. It's being sold as this absolute game changer for beginners. But the big question is it actually the right first printer for you? We're gonna break down the hype versus the very real reality.
So let's just get this out of the way, right up front. This is the core promise, the big claim. A machine that costs just $300 can apparently outperform printers that are more than double the price. You can see why this little thing is getting so much attention. That's a huge deal.
And here's the catch. This is really important. The printer is so good, so simple that it's easy to get complacent. But if you treat it like a simple toy and not the serious piece of tech it is, you could be in for a world of hurt. You could spend your whole first week just completely frustrated, and that's exactly what we're going to help you avoid.
So what's all the fuss about? Why are people calling this thing a cheat code for getting into 3D printing? What is it doing that makes it so wildly different from all the other budget printers we've seen over the years?
And here she is, the A1 Mini. You know, its whole reason for being is built around one simple idea, getting you awesome results without all the hassle. This machine is for people who want to print things, not spend their entire weekend just trying to get the printer to work.
So, how does it pull this off? Well, it automates all the stuff that usually drives beginners crazy. Making sure the print bed is perfectly level, it does that by itself. Making sure just the right amount of plastic is coming out, all handled for you. These are features you usually only see on machines that cost way more, and it does it all while printing super fast.
And then there's this thing. This is the optional AMS Lite. And what it does is let you print with up to 4 different colors or even different materials, all automatically in one print. That is a massive feature for a printer at this price, and it just blows the doors wide open for what you can create.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. To get all of that amazing tech into such an affordable little box, there had to be a trade-off, and that trade-off is its size. As the quote says, this isn't a mistake, it was a choice. If you're dreaming of printing a full-size Iron Man helmet, this is just not the machine for you.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about setup, because this is where a ton of people go wrong. The printer is super fast to get going, but there is one simple mistake that causes most of the headaches for new users.
And look, this is the big selling point, right? You can go from having a sealed box to starting your very first print in less than half an hour. I mean, that's insane compared to older budget printers where you could lose a whole weekend just assembling and tuning the thing.
So here's the disconnect. You've got this dream, right? You unbox it, you hit print, and 20 minutes later, bam, perfect models. But the reality for so many beginners is they put this incredibly fast, powerful machine on a cheap, flimsy little table, and the vibrations from its speed just ruin everything.
The good news is, this is an easy fix. You just gotta remember 2 things. First, stability. It has to be on a solid surface, a heavy desk, a sturdy workbench. Some people even put it on a concrete paving stone. And second, just give it some room to breathe. Don't cram it into a tiny closet where it can overheat.
Okay, no machine is perfect, so let's get into the stuff that the glowing reviews sometimes gloss over. These are the real-world frustrations, the little annoyances that could actually be deal breakers for you.
So we already mentioned the small build size was a trade-off, but I really want to drive this home as a genuine annoyance. You might start out thinking, oh, I'll only print small things, but trust me, the moment you want to print one single, slightly larger part, you're gonna hit that wall. Yeah, you can split models into pieces, but that just adds a whole new layer of work.
And annoyance number 2? Oh, this one hurts the wallet. That incredible multicolor printing feature, it comes at a cost. See, every single time the printer switches colors, it has to purge the old plastic, and that creates a pile of waste. On some prints, you could be throwing away 10, 20, even 30% of your material.
I mean, look at these models. They're absolutely gorgeous. The results are undeniable. But you have to be honest with yourself and ask if you're willing to pay for all the plastic that literally gets thrown in the bin to make them. It's a very real cost to factor in.
And the last big annoyance, it's kind of tricky because it's a good thing and a bad thing. Bambu Lab pushes out firmware updates all the time, which is great. New features, bug fixes. But if you're in the middle of a huge project and an update suddenly changes how the printer behaves, that is super frustrating. The advice here is pretty simple. If your printer is working perfectly, maybe hold off on that update until your project is finished.
Okay, enough with the problems. Let's talk about how to get this thing running perfectly. There's a really clear playbook for getting the absolute best results from the A1 Mini, and it all starts with the easy fixes.
So think of it like a ladder to success.
You start at the bottom with the easy stuff everyone should do, like using the default settings and getting that first layer to stick right. Then you move up to stabilizing the printer, which we've already covered. The more advanced rungs are things like making sure your filament is dry and fine-tuning those multicolor changes. But honestly, nailing those first 3 steps solves almost every beginner problem.
So if you remember nothing else, remember this. 1. Just use the default print settings to start. Don't mess with them. 2. Clean the build plate with plain old dish soap and warm water. The oils from your fingertips are the #1 enemy of a good first layer. And 3, like we've said, put the machine on something solid. These 3 simple things will save you from so many headaches.
So, after all that, the good, the bad, and the easy fixes, what's the bottom line? Should you actually buy this printer? Should you wait for something else? Let's figure that out. When you really stack it up against the old school budget printers, it's not even close, is it? The A1 Mini basically trades away a larger print size for massive, massive gains in reliability, speed, and just overall sanity. If you value your time and you want to avoid pulling your hair out, it's in a completely different league.
So how do you know if you're the right person for this printer? Well, it's perfect for you if you just want results, fast. If you're a first-timer, if you're making small gadgets or miniatures, or if you just see a 3D printer as a tool to create things, not a hobby you want to endlessly tinker with. And that brings us right to the final verdict. For most people who are just starting out, this is a definite buy. It lets you skip so much of the painful learning curve and frustration of traditional 3D printing that it really does feel like you've found a cheat code. So we'll leave you with this. It's really the question you have to ask yourself. Knowing its incredible strengths, but also its very real limitation on size, will the A1 Mini be the cheat code that unlocks your creativity? Or will your ambitions grow so fast that you'll outgrow this little machine? The answer to that we'll